Hello, my Cancer Moon Children clan, and welcome to June 2020. This is one of my favorite months of the year. It's so powerful and so transformative. This is one of my favorite times of year. And of course, this is the beginning. It's the summer solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere and the beginning of Cancer season. So this is one of my favorite times ever and the magic here. And I would say that this month is an exceptional June. It is a June filled with revolution and change because we have two eclipses. We have the rest of Venus retrograde, we have Mercury retrograde, and some meetings in the sky that are really powerful. So when you think about a month like this is a month of clearing away, of lightening our load, of reconnecting and remembering who we are, of revolutionizing our lives. And of course, that's going to look different for everyone. There's different scales of impact here depending on what it is you're wanting to learn and grow into. However, this is a powerful time. And we're having one of the last eclipses for a long time in Cancer this month as well. So we're closing out the Cancerian work with eclipses, and we've already finished the Cancer North Node work. And so this is a really powerful time for Cancerians because it's kind of like graduation. You've done all this eclipse work. So this final eclipse right at the beginning of your season, it's happening on June 21st. So it's going to be very early degrees of Cancer Sun. So June 20th, Sun moves into Cancer, and then we have this new moon and solar eclipse happening that's going to be visible from parts of Asia and Africa. But this is kind of the closing ceremony. And it's, of course, happening during Mercury retrograde happening in your sign as well. Mercury retrograde starts on the 18th. So the last half of this month is just one big closing out, recognizing, honoring, and opening, because we're also going to finish Venus retrograde on June 25th, and that's been in your 12th house doing all this amazing work and reestablishing what the world means to you. Now, at the beginning of the month, we also start with a full moon in Sagittarius and a lunar eclipse. That's in your 6th house. So, taking care of your health, make sure you're taking care of yourself during that lunar eclipse. It's not going to be highly visible in the world, but it will be energetically happening. I have a message for you, and happy birthday to those Cancerians born in June. There are a few in my life that mean the world to me. Hi to those lovely people. And I'm so excited for Cancerian energy. It helps me so much, more than I ever really realized until the last few years how much it means to me. But the message that came through as I start to shuffle my cards here is review. This is a review time, and it's also a hello to the grand adventure ahead in ways that you can't imagine. This next horizon is bigger and wilder than you probably think in your mind. You might have kind of conception, oh, this is what it's going to be. Four of Pentacles, my goodness, that came up for Capricorn. It was their first card too. We always think we kind of have a handle on how life is going to go. And then, of course, often doors open that we didn't see coming. 10 of Cups. I love that so much. Oh my gosh. And a message, one that's a real classic from the Gospel of Thomas, came through for me to share with you today, which is when you bring forth that which is within you, it will save you. If you repress that which is within you, it will destroy you. I think this is a month to honor what is within you and let it lead you forward, and also to trust in this grand unknowing that is coming your way. Ace of Swords. Oh wow, so many breakthroughs going on here, my friends. We're going to pull 4 cards for this reading today because I want to keep the messages really clear and crisp. There's so many energetic waves moving through this month. It is just like all sorts of sloughing off, all sorts of change. So we want to make sure we're focusing in on what really matters here and not getting caught up in too many cross signals, because the more we can sit in simplicity, that unfolded, uncreased simplicity, the more likely we are to be able to really hear ourselves. And I think that's a really important part of this, Cancerians. The sun is going to be moving through Gemini up until we hit your season, and that means this is a time as well to reconnect with yourself, be in the mystery, and strength came up. How perfect is that? I'm happy about that because obviously being a Leo with a Cancerian, I like showing up in your reading. But I don't have personal bias here. I love you all, and I love what I'm seeing here. There is a need for exploration and change coming up, and I think you're going to be feeling that, especially as we close out one of these last retrogrades in your sign. Like, it's done. You know, these eclipses after this one on June 21st, you're not going to be having eclipses in your sign. You are going to be having this final Mercury retrograde in Cancer, though. And that will go until 12th of July. And I actually think that's fine. You know, having a Mercury retrograde in your own sign is often just a time where you reconnect with yourself more deeply, rather than it being about other people or the external world. This is a time where you can really hear yourself clearly. Now, here's what's interesting. Four of Pentacles often shows up right before a big shift in life, you know, right before we take a step forward. And this is kind of that point where we think, am I really allowed to do this? Am I really going to be okay if I do this? If I choose this? Will it destroy me? Will it be safe? You know, it's just a review period. In tarot, the number 4 is really important. It's a culmination point. It's kind of like you've taken steps 1, 2, 3. Okay, now at 4, you take a minute to look around before you go on to the next excitement, the next challenge, the next growth. So on the one hand, this is really important energy because you do want to review and reflect, right? And you want to know that you're choosing authentically in that brave way of what it is that you want. Now for you, I mean, honestly, yes, it does take bravery to live this authentically. 10 of Cups is about vulnerability and joy, right? This is a path of joy. This is a path of clarity. The 10 of Cups, speaking of simplicity, this is a very simple card. You know, we often look for our validation, our okayness on the path via difficulty. And 10 of Cups doesn't want anything to do with what's so hard and what's so challenging, what's so demanding of you. The demand here is to step into this grace, to step into this joy and this love. Yes, this is about happy partnership 100%. This is about happy, deep love situations that feel good and supportive for you. And I do think this is an important time for that. These eclipses and just the way that the energy is moving through the world this month is really setting the table. That's the way I would say June is. It's like you're going to have a really long, beautiful dinner party. Whatever that looks like. And this June is the whole process of putting the centerpieces on there, you know, laying out the tablecloth, putting the dishes on the plate, really opening yourself up, becoming the vessel through which this dinner party can happen in your life. And you're setting the table here clearly for this kind of love and connection. And the energy here is helping us to focus more on that. Now, there's a lot of beauty here. And here's the other thing. You're getting some answers. I'm loving this. As we hit into this final new moon eclipse in Cancer, we're getting some kind of really big clarity here. And I love Ace of Swords because this is often, you know, when we're waiting for that critical email or phone call or answer or piece of confirmation. The Ace of Swords brings it to us, right? It clears something up that maybe has felt foggy. I love it too because, you know, you see this hand coming out of the clouds here, and I think sometimes we can feel like we're floating in the clouds. And admittedly, this month may have some of that energy for you. You may be feeling like there are days when you feel a little bit like you're floating along and you can't tell, you know, how to put your feet on the ground. That's okay. I would say, you know, the energies here, it's not about harshness. So be sure you're extra kind to yourselves this month because you're getting good results. So you don't need to be lashing yourself in order to get those good results. You all tend to push yourselves hard and to sometimes feel that you need to already have yourself in order. You need to already be doing all the things, and you're doing enough, right? And that's where strength comes in as well. Yes, this is Leo energy, of course. But it's bigger than that, obviously, especially because we're only doing 4 cards this month. This is so much bigger than that. This is the opening to that grand adventure. This is an empowered divine energy, right? This is all about owning your role in life, and you are held within that role. And what I love about strength is that this isn't about speed and swiftness and drama, right? It's like we can always unleash this lion and go wild, let our inner wildness take over and lead us. However, what this is saying is we honor that inner wild from a place of ease and grace, and we know we don't need to unleash it all, but that we can do it from this measured, perceptive space, and that there isn't pressure here to push yourself faster or harder than you need to go. There's a steadiness going on here, and there's a depth of spirituality going on here as well. What I'm noticing with these cards is that there's a call here to listen to who you are becoming. It makes me think, this is so interesting, it makes me think of Sound of Music when Maria is in the convent. I'm not saying you all are in a convent, but and she's thinking, well, this is my path. I'm supposed to be a nun. But she has all these things within her. She can't stop singing and being curious and wanting to connect with the world, right? And the leader of the convent, what are they called? Mother Superior, tells her, no, you need to go find out what's out there in life. You are meant for that. I think for you all this month, that's very much the kind of storyline that we're seeing here. It's not that you're supposed to abandon everything you ever loved and go run off and become a governess in a strange house somewhere. No. But I mean that, sometimes we get very convinced, well, this is my story. I'm going to be living in this house and I'm just going to do the same old, and and then there's something else. Your inner Mother Superior is going to say, no, you have something to offer here. You have something to explore and open up to. You have opportunity here. Are you going to take it or not? And I think this closeout of the eclipse, the closeout of Venus retrograde, and even this Mercury retrograde in your sign are all going to be doing powerful things to help you see that more clearly. And really, I don't think you're going to be able to ignore the messages coming in June. I think it's going to be very clear. And the thing is, part of the reason you're going to know that these messages are right for you is they're going to feel good. They're going to feel warm and supportive of you. Yes, adventurous. Yes, maybe a little scary sometimes, but also supportive. And that is crucial to have that distinction, right? Because sometimes we think we have to say yes to something because we're supposed to grow and we're supposed to change. But if it doesn't feel supportive, also listen to that. I have a solstice blessing for you, and really the opening to Cancerian season in general. So excited to dip into those waters. You have no idea. But I have a little blessing to share with you and to cheers for you. And here it is. May love surround you. May opportunities spring up like poppies so that you can choose the road that feels good. May that choosing feel easy and bright. May the sun shine down upon you. Cheers. And of course, I'm going to be diving so much deeper on these eclipses, on Mercury retrograde. We're currently in the middle of our Venus retrograde work over on my Patreon. So if you are looking for extra support this month, this is really the place to come join me. Thank you to those of you who have joined me already. It has changed my life. I can't even tell you how much it has helped me take better care of myself and not overschedule myself. And also getting to do the work that I love and getting to share it with you over on that platform has meant so much to me. And I just get more and more excited to be we're going to be doing lives over there so you can hang out with me and ask questions live. And we're going to be getting a lot deeper into a lot of the magical energy and how to harness it and how to activate it within ourselves. So I will leave that link below. I would really love to see you over there and offer that guidance at this time of so much change and shift. And of course, you can find me on Instagram at SarahVerba and on my website, SARAHTAROT.com. And of course, I'm wearing PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry, so you can find her work on her Etsy shop page as well. All the goodies are in the description box. I will see you for the next Moon Magic and for all the adventure ahead. I love you so much and have a beautiful beginning to Cancer season.